Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. On today's show, we will be focusing on Parent Month 2020. Joining us is Chief Executive Officer at the National Parenting Support Commission, Kaysia Kerr. Ms. Kerr, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Enthros.
Real good to have you. Now, let us start at the beginning, as they would say. Parent Month is celebrated annually in November. Tell us about the background to this initiative.
Thank you. So, National Parent Month is really a staple on the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's calendar of events. And it's a way to recognize the contributions of parents to the education sector. The National Parenting Support Commission was actually established to encourage parental involvement in the education system. Because when the school and the home partners, then children usually perform better.
Okay, good. Now, in preparation for this year's celebration, your parent support managers carried out extensive on-the-ground research to hear about the concerns of fathers across selected regions. Why was this done and what were the findings?
Yes, so we're still disaggregated because there's so much information. But some of the things that stood out very early were included the fact that fathers want parenting education. They want formal education in parenting. They recognize that they have deficits in their own practice. They want to be more effective. They just do not want to have these sessions in spaces where women are. They feel when they go into that space together, women sometimes bash them, and it becomes a bellyaching session where women talk about all the bad they're doing as opposed to finding solutions to help them to be more effective in parenting. That's one. The second finding was that some of the fathers believe that because the relationship with the mothers or mother of their children would have deteriorated, it impedes their ability to parent the way they really want to. So we have really tried to customize our parenting education sessions to speak to these specific concerns. So one of the things we ensure is that once we're conducting the sessions where males and females show up, or mothers and fathers in this case, we have breakout rooms. Even though they're online, we make sure that we put the fathers in one room after the orientation and we keep the women in another session. And we also have a session designed to show mothers how they need to treat fathers, whether the father is estranged, meaning they're no longer in a relationship in this case, or they have a visiting relationship. What do they need to do in a positive way to encourage fathers to participate? Because many of them really want to be better fathers.
But why did we choose the fathers though? Why do we choose them as if they are the worst of the two parents? I don't know that I have so much encounter with people, with fathers who are not good fathers. Why did we choose the father?
That's a really good question. So there are several indicators. One, whether we like it or not, many of the households in Jamaica are headed by single parent women. And when we look at the education sector in general, the better participants are women. Women participate more. They're the ones who are showing up for PTA meetings more. They're the ones who are in contact with the teachers to find out how children are attaining. They're the ones who are assigned to do homework in the evenings to help through that process. And this data it comes from the fathers as well. And we also realize that at the commission, the uptake of our programs among fathers is low, and it has nothing to do with gender. So that the programs that we have are not prescribed or designed for particular gender. They carry the same elements of effective parenting. And even though there is criticism that because they are researched by women, there's a bias. We've not found that to be so, because the men who show up, they actually want to be a part of the program. They like the program, they stay throughout, and they usually encourage others to join. But we believe that we needed to have a call to them in particular to say, look, we understand your concerns and we're willing to tailor what we have to speak to the concerns that you have and speak to your specific needs.
Right. So the men that participated, were they from across the classes?
They were from all classes, but the data that I found most interesting came from fathers in Westmoreland in particular,
Okay.
who do not necessarily fall within the upper echelon or the upper stratum,
Right.
but stratum rather, but we found good data from that specific cohort of fathers in Westmoreland in particular. There were some who very clearly said to us that the material things they have were through illicit activities, and know that they have money, they want to go get their children, or they
Yes.
can now go have their children without thinking that, fathering has way more to do than just your ability to provide material things. And once you're father for life. So, like I said, there was just so much that came out of the data that we gathered.
Right, right. And so based on that survey, you've come up with this month's theme, which is
That's
Fathers,
right.
Rise, Lead, and Be Wise. How important
That's
is
right.
this theme?
Fathers rise, lead, and
And
be
be
wise.
wise.
And, we decided also to go with the theme at this particular time because there's so much focus on the online space. And I believe that we're less distracted. There's no party going on. There's very little sporting activity going on. And so persons have no choice but to focus on where they can get information.
Yes.
And so we were very deliberate that, look, since we have all this information and we have been concerned for a while now about the uptake of fathers, then let us push it. So fathers rise, lead, and be wise simply means rise, look, recognize that your child is your responsibility. That's the first thing. Two, we want you to understand that the growth and development of children go through different stages. And so you have to be also conversant with the behaviors of different stages and how your fathering has to change in response to the different stages of development. And also to get involved in the education process. Place value on it. Know that your input counts. And fathers lead, we're saying fathers must stand right there with the mother and become the head of the household once more. There are too many households in Jamaica that are run by single parent women. So we want fathers to lead, understand that your behaviors matter. What you do is what your child is going to emulate.
Yes,
so it's not
yes.
just what you say. You have to make sure your actions are the ones worthy of modeling by your children.
Okay.
And of course, fathers, be wise. We're saying, look, there's much in wisdom. We must consult. You must get proper information. Perhaps among the information that you're going to get is information from the commission so that you can add to your kit, add to your toolkit, so that whatever it is you're telling your child is something that is wholesome and valuable and will add to his or her growth and development.
Okay, let's take a quick break here and we pick up with some more information on Parent Month 2020. Please stay with us.
Are you aware of how Jamaican adolescents use social media? What do they do online? What do they post? Do you know if they are being harassed? These are questions you should be asking yourself because it is your duty to keep your children safe online. Parents, here's what you need to do. Be active online and offline. Help your child to set up his or her online profile. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the different social media applications that they use and set some rules. Protect our nation's children and save them from cybercriminal attacks.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking to Chief Executive Officer at the National Parenting Support Commission, Kaysia Kerr, and we're talking about Parent Month 2020. Now, the Commission will be hosting numerous virtual parenting education sessions, and over 500 schools are set to benefit. Tell us about these.
Thank you. So we have over 1,000 schools in the education system. And whereas we would have loved to touch every single school, and we certainly are encouraging schools that are not on the list of 500 to conduct their own sessions, we have targeted just about half of that number. And we started the parenting education sessions this week. So we had a number of sessions. I think we conducted 4 already. And what I'm happy about is that the fathers who showed up never just stayed in the rooms. They participated, they asked good questions, and they also shared their stories. So we were able to see persons who we know will need aftercare services after those sessions are held. So the sessions have started off really well. The 500 schools have not been selected based on any specific criteria. We just selected 500 schools, and we're working with the regions and the schools themselves to ensure that the parents, especially the fathers, come out.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Now, in addition to that, you have 3 regional workshops. Tell us about that. Who are you targeting, and when is it, and so on?
Yes. So the regional workshops are actually a staple to on the calendar. This is where we have all the partners who we call members of the parent sector participating. These are usually have bigger numbers, and we have persons like PATH. It is Diabetes Awareness Month, if I'm saying it right. So we have persons from the Diabetes Foundation of Jamaica. It is Community Month, so we have SDC. It is Drug Abuse Awareness Month, so we have persons from NCDA, and we come together and we give quite a bit of information through several sessions with many persons, irrespective of what region based on the region that they're from.
Yes, yes. And there is a parent village, a virtual parent village. Talk to us about that, and that is on November 17th.
Yes, so we will be hosting a virtual parent village, and I'm really excited to see how this will unfold. Usually we have about 3 parent villages during the month, and we carry the villages across the country. Last year we had one in Steertown, and then we went to Sam Sharp Square, and then we went to Savannah Lamar. This year, because of the pandemic, we've had to do everything online. So we will have a virtual village. It will be supported by about 21 different partners, and we will be setting up the virtual space with different rooms, as many rooms as it can accommodate, where persons will actually go and see what these service providers have to offer. Of course, we'll be talking about parenting all along the way, and we hope to have this for about 2 hours online. So we're encouraging everybody to come to the virtual parent village. We will see how it will unfold, because I'm not sure about the technical part, but if we can also broadcast through the social media pages, of course, that will be done.
Right, but how will we get that information? As
soon as the kinks are worked out, then we'll communicate through the media and or social media pages as well. We'll put the information out and put the link out. Also, we'll be sending information through the regional offices, so parents will be able to access.
All right, so we look out for that. And then you culminate with National Parent Month Awards on November 27th. That's right. What is that?
Right, so the Parent Awards, like I said at the beginning, National Parent Month is not just a call to action for parents to be more effective in parenting. It's also a celebration of the parents who have participated in the education sector over the year. The contribution could be your participation in the curriculum implementation team, which has a parent rep. That person is supposed to know what the curriculum objectives are, where the schools are in terms of delivery. Are there any glitches, whether or not they're active participants in the PTA, whether or not they are resource persons that support different subject matters, whether or not they're just volunteers in the school, they're putting up a peace garden or volunteering in the kitchen, or whether or not they're contributing food, whatever it is they're doing, because there's so many ways to contribute to be involved in education. So we're celebrating those persons.
Exactly.
Usually, we partner with Spanish Jamaica Foundation for the National Parent Awards. Spanish Jamaica Foundation has been so kind and gracious to us. They usually give us the hotel space free of cost, and they provide food for the entire ceremony, and they just create this wonderful ambiance for the Parent Awards. This year, clearly because of the pandemic, that will not happen, but I also want to use the opportunity to just say to Spanish Jamaica Foundation how thankful we are as a commission for the partnership, which I'm sure will continue beyond the pandemic, because it has to end at some point.
As we wrap, tell us about your latest initiative to establish some 36 helplines.
Thank you. We had launched 36 helplines as a response to the emergency in education. this emergency seems to be still unfolding because we're still going through the pandemic. The helplines were launched as a partnership between UNICEF, Fight for Peace, and VM Foundation. We have had a really good response. I'm very humbled that we've managed to help so many parents, and by extension, their children, who have been having a difficulty, whether it is understanding what the education system is dictating at this time, whether it is they did not hear from their path representative, they didn't know how to collect checks, whether it is they wanted food, whether it is they were just going through a rough time and needed psychosocial support. So not only were we coordinating and ensuring we're supporting the Ministry of Education, but we're also providing psychosocial support.
Okay.
Some 644 persons have benefited from psychosocial referrals and support. So I'm very, very happy about what we've managed to do. And the referrals are those who need more intensive work, not just through the helpline.
Okay,
so
okay.
Very happy that we've managed to help so many parents.
Okay. There's much more that we could talk about. We will have to wrap right now. So thank you so very much for coming to talk to us on Get the Facts.
Thank you so much, Ms. Campbell. Good to have been here.
This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Chief Executive Officer at the National Parenting Support Commission, Kaysia Kerr. For more information on Parent Month 2020 or the functions of the National Parenting Support Commission, contact them at 876-967-7977 or visit their social media pages at NPSC Jamaica. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you, as always, more useful information. I'm Rose Campbell. Thanks for watching and take good care.